I loved Moana and I was looking forward to the sequel, but unfortunately, Moana 2 runs into the so-called sequelitis and it's a cash grab. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Blockbuster. I'm your host, AJ. Just came back from Moana 2. And as I mentioned, I was kind of looking forward to it. Initial reaction is it didn't live up to the original. And for the most part, 90% of the time, the sequel doesn't live up to that piece. Nor am I expecting it to be the same. But the impact that the first movie had, something that I liked, whether it's the storyline, the characters of both Moana and Maui, played by, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and auliicravalho as Moana, they depicted those characters in the best way possible, but also the story and the adventure that takes place in the original was more interesting, and the connection was there, the bond, you could feel the newness of it. Plus, all the songs was like a super hit. That's the reason why that movie was so great and something that I loved. My expectation was, okay, we're gonna get kind of the same thing, but maybe a different kind of storyline. No, this is what happens when a original movie does really well and the next piece studio wants to do is, oh, it did well, good much, made a lot of money, let's repeat that whole piece. Just a cash grab, right? I think that's exactly what happened here, mainly because on a high level, storyline is Moana's main objective for this movie is to find more people, build that bridge and connection so that they're not the only ones left. So she has this adventure sail with a bunch of folks who are, to be told, this crew was dumb. And they take on the storm monster with Maui's help, because Maui's there, of course, and a bunch of songs in it. That's the storyline. Nothing new, nothing extraordinary and stuff like that. I will say that Moana and Maui is the epitome of this whole movie, and they did a splendid job, of course, just like the first one. They carry that same mantle. The one piece that I will say is the animation. The folks who worked on the animation of this movie needs to get the most amount of credit, because those shots, ocean scenes and the water, the way how it moves, and a couple of shots were actually so beautiful. So that whole department needs to get like a raise or a bonus or whatever the case may be, because that was I would say that was an improvised version from the original. And the songs was pretty good. I liked a couple of songs. It was catchy and stuff like that. But when you look at the whole movie, it didn't have that same impact. Even the audience also felt a bit bored along the way, especially during the first half of the movie. Keep in mind, this movie an hour and 40 minutes. And the most that I liked was the last 30 minutes, whether it's a climax scene, the whole fight component that takes place with the storm monster and the rescue mission and all that good stuff. That was really good and engaging. The songs were going hand in hand with it. My go-to guy for Hollywood movies is Jeremy Johns, and he did this review, and he had the same kind of feeling. Usually, people have different opinions, so I still had hope. I was like, you know what? Let me go and watch. Maybe I have a different opinion. Maybe it'd be better in my eyes. But no, he was absolutely right. And I was surprised to see there is an end credits which leads on to another part that might be coming. But aside from that, from a kid's point of view, yeah, there's a lot of chuckles, there's a lot of comedic components that they would love, especially with the animation. I think it would be a good time. And since it's Thanksgiving week, taking them to the theaters for this is maybe good, but keep in mind, we have a lot of other animated movies coming on your streaming platform, like Transformers 1, the robot movie, which I haven't seen, and everybody's talking about it. When you compare all of that, I would suggest pick that over this, which is shocking because Moana is really good, the original. Yeah, aside from, Moana and Maui doing what they need to do, everything else was meh. I liked a couple of things like the coconuts. They were really good. There's one coconut which was like the most useful. If you would pick somebody in the crew, I would pick the coconut over all the other humans that join Moana on the strip, because they're absolutely useless. Yes, they play a pivotal role in each of the components because they have their own skill sets and stuff like that, but the way how it took place from the beginning all the way till the climax scene, it was just chaos. But for the folks who watched Moana 2, what did you think? Did you have the same feeling as me, where it felt like a letdown, or do you think it's the same or exceeded your expectations? Put it in the comments. And as always, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and share.